Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Yes, Have Some Toy Anxiety. My name is Craig Goldberg. I am here with Ryan Dole. Man, what a week.
What a week. Dude, emotions are running. It's again, I feel like every week we start off with the same thing of, oh, wow. I don't know if it's a 2020 thing or if it's just
been wild.
How the summer's going, but
it's been crazy. So last week, what we did was we did a little live reaction to what we thought was going to be. I felt so bad. Ryan, you got up at like 5 a.m. West Coast time because Hasbro was doing Fan First Friday a little bit earlier than normal. But we were like, look, they're going to do the new HasLab and it'll be worth it because it's going to be amazing. And well, they didn't announce the new HasLab. They did say it's coming in a couple weeks, so I have a feeling maybe they originally were going to do it. So we'll figure out what we're going to do next time. But I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little bummed out that we didn't get that announcement.
Yeah, oh, dude, I was bummed out too. I was kind of expecting it because this week being what Star Wars Celebration weekend would be.
Right.
I was expecting more of a kind of like what DC Fandom did and what San Diego Comic-Con from home. So I was kind of expecting Celebration from home.
Right.
And I mean, we've gotten some video game announcements and that kind of stuff, but I was a little surprised that, you know, once again, Hasbro does their Fan Fridays for Star Wars. And sure enough, 2 days later, Yak Face is in with the scoop of the stuff that we wanted to see.
Right. Yeah, there was some leaks.
Funny.
Yeah. I wonder why that. Oh, it's like, they have to know that stuff's getting out there and like maybe it's better. Maybe people just in general, maybe there's like market research that shows people get more excited over leaks than official announcements anyway. So they do the leaking. I don't know, but whatever.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that Cad Bane looks fucking dope as hell.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I mean, yeah, I guess the last Fan First Friday, whatever it was mostly about the 3.25-inch collectors.
Yeah.
It seemed mostly directed towards those guys. And let's face it, the hallway is still very cool.
It's pretty cool. You know what, though? It's not as cool. I thought it was really cool when we were watching it, and it's still cool. But a week out, I'm not as excited about the hallway as I thought I was because,
you know,
I'm not a vintage collector or vintage collection collector. So it'll be good for people. It feels like it's definitely the perfect kind of thing for people who do figure photography, who want to have a lot of customization over the setup. It's very modular. You can get a couple, connect them together. Right. So yeah.
Now, if it was $100 a mod, like $100 a piece of hallway.
Okay.
But it was for Black Series, would you be more into getting that?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I don't do a lot of diorama setups. I don't do a lot of, I got a pretty stationary display for my figures. Now, that kind of stuff is really cool for like when you do want to set up cool figure photography, Instagram photos, Facebook, what have you. I would be into some sort of, especially if it was from the original movies, like something from like Yavin 4 base or from the Death Star, just some kind of diorama wall display where you could really have a lot of versatility in your setups. I mean, obviously I want a Return of the Jedi. Like, I don't think we're ever going to get an Ewok village in 6-inch scale, but I do think some sort of diorama would be very cool. I'd be into that.
Yeah, we need more than one Ewok, though. That'd be great.
We do. I think so. I picked up, who is it? Paplu? Is that the new one out?
He's the one with the exclusives. So
Tebow. I got Tebow. Oh, he's in the case over there. But really, they kind of knocked it out of the park. I'm excited for you to see that one up close. So yeah, the reveals were fine. A couple new reveals for the Gaming Greats line at GameStop. Here's a question, and I don't even know if you know the answer to this. The new Boba Fett 6-inch Black Series figure that's coming out, is that a straight re-release of the... Oh, I'm sorry, not Boba Fett, the new Jango Fett. Is that a re-release of the other Jango Fett, or is there a different paint application?
Different jetpack.
Oh, okay. Well, shit, now I have to pre-order that.
One, and a different helmet. Okay. So the one that you have is the Geonosis Arena
Yes.
Jango. So he's got that one. He's got the dent on the helmet.
Gotcha.
The other one is going to be the smooth helmet. It's going to have the more pack that's like the one that like Boba Fett has with the rocket.
Okay, cool. Very cool. Well, I'll definitely have to. I for some reason I thought it was just a re-release and I kind of slipped my radar, but yeah,
I knew the answer to your question.
Thank you for that. That was amazing. We need some like applause here. Yay.
Yay.
So yeah, other than that, not a whole lot, but we'll be getting more Star Wars reveals in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, and you know what? I would be down for even if it's early again, I would be down for doing another live reaction, especially if we know we're getting it. I say we just keep doing these live until we get our HasLab announcement.
We just react to, and even if it's like Power Rangers Fan First Friday or Marvel Fan First Friday,
Yeah.
keep reacting.
Oh, dude, I would do Marvel ones for sure. I think
course.
the Marvel ones get me super excited.
Before we get too far and too not serious, we definitely have to acknowledge this very sad news. Speaking of Marvel, Chadwick Boseman passed away yesterday, and I'm sure everybody across the internet and the world, I mean, that news hit hard late last night, and
Yep.
it really seems to be affecting a lot of people. And it's just there's not a whole lot you can say other than it's tragic and it's very sad. And the guy to endure what he went through without the public knowing, and to be able to continue to do his passion and to act and to really bring just a lot of like, just, I mean, it sounds cliche. And it's not always like this. There are people who pass on where people go, well, you know, maybe he wasn't the greatest guy or anything, but like across the board, it seems like Chadwick Boseman was just the most well-respected, loved, and admired actor and human being. And obviously,
Well, and he represented a character that's important to a lot of people.
Of course. Absolutely.
And I mean,
yeah,
that's who you think of. When you think of that character now, you think of Chadwick.
Yeah, you do. And Black Panther was such a monumental and important movie, not just to the series it's a part of, but just from a cultural standpoint, the time when it was released, to have an African-American hero portrayed in that manner with a predominantly African-American cast, and just a badass actor, badass cast in a badass movie, that in just such an integral, important part. And also the way he was introduced in Civil War and everything, dude, he's so amazing in Infinity War. Man, just a really tragic loss. And I want to at least acknowledge it.
I still remember, like, you know, when you're watching Endgame and, you know, when those portals are all opening up and, you know, out comes Black Panther for that first time and everyone just loses their mind. Man, yeah. You know what? Even when I think about going to Black Panther on opening night and the experience of that, of just being like, wow, this is one of the few times in the theater in Canada where, you know, I am the minority here in the audience.
Yeah.
And hearing everyone just react and clap and dance along with the movie, it was something special, and it's something I've never experienced before. And that's when you knew the movie was hitting somewhere.
Yeah, and there's monumental moments in your movie going experience that you always remember, for good or for bad.
That's true.
Seeing Black Panther on opening night, I had a very similar experience. It was just such a it felt in some ways cathartic, not necessarily in a religious way, but for people who you know, it just felt important and special, and it was really like I said, a monumental movie going experience. And then the scene you just talked about, when he shows up and he's got, you know, Wakanda with him in Endgame, it's like one of the most just powerful fuck yes moments you're ever gonna have at a movie theater. And boy, I really miss going to the movies right now.
Yeah, I do. Same here. And again, when you're talking about also Infinity War, and anytime you see, you know, Cap and Black Panther fighting side by side, and when they're running towards the front lines and they're literally racing each other,
right?
You know, that's an incredible thing to watch.
Yeah, it really is. It really is. It's insane. It's insane. And I love, that's my favorite version of Captain America, mostly because of his hair and beard. I love it. I've got the hot toy. I don't know who I would love to get my hands on an Infinity War Black Panther hot toy. So yeah, it just very sad. Well, we won't spend too much time on it, but wanted to acknowledge that, and obviously love and positive vibes and prayers and whatever you do to his family and to the entire Marvel family, because you saw those reactions from like Chris Evans and Chris Pratt, Mark Ruffalo, and Zoe Saldana. It's just not good. It's really, really sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get this man a shield.
Exactly. Whew. Now here's the worst segue of all time. Look at this. We got Rita and Zed. Oh my God.
Dude, when did you get that?
Listen, this came in yesterday. This is the Power Rangers Lightning Collection. Rita and Zed. They're Rita Repulsa, Lord Zed. What are they calling it? I thought it was it's like their wedding.
A power couple?
Yeah, well, it's their wedding when they got married. Beautiful. It's really a cool set. I haven't even opened it up yet. That just came in yesterday. It's one of those things I didn't even know was out yet, and I saw it on GameStop's website. And it was in stock, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to. And it's funny because I posted on Instagram and I did an unboxing video for Alpha 5 and Jordash, Zoloft, whatever.
Zardan.
Yeah, Zardan. I thought, that's a Walmart exclusive, and I thought it was gonna be really hard, hard to find, but they're everywhere. Like every Walmart here's got 5 or 6 of them. So, but really great figures. I love what they're doing with the Lightning Collection. Confessed, not the hugest, biggest Power Rangers fan of all time, but I really admire the figures, and I've got enough of that nostalgia bug to pick them up.
Is that the only way you can get a Rita?
Yeah, for now. So they put out, and I haven't even. So this Zed. Okay, looking at the Zed that is in my case versus this one, it looks like the wiring on his vest is like got a blue tint to it here. Looks more silver. So it's basically just a repaint with a little bit of a different, different accessories and stuff, but not a straight re-release. But yeah, that's the only way.
It's a pretty cool pack.
Yeah, it's cool.
I definitely want the Zach, because I don't know if people know this or not, I do have a Black Ranger costume.
Oh, yes. I did not know that. I just agreed with you. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. But yeah, he's like, I got the helmet on display and all that kind of stuff at my place.
Dang.
So I definitely want the Zach. I know they announced it.
Yeah,
I got to get that one.
Yeah, there's that'll be the regular. I've got the Zach. Oh God, I'm such a bad fan. I've got the one where he's got the gold like Green Ranger vest that was like a Walgreens exclusive, but they haven't put out
armor.
Yeah, the armor one, but they haven't put out the regular one yet. So, but that's coming. I love Lightning Collection. I think they're doing. I even want to get that the Psycho Rangers box set, and I don't even know anything about it, but it just looks so cool. Like I'd keep that in.
They do look cool.
Yeah,
there's always that part, like when you started doing Power Rangers, like I'm not doing it. Then I see them in the store and I'm like, oh, maybe I do. And then they start doing the ones with the comics. You're like, oh, I kind of do want that. And I was like, no, I'm not going to. And then they're like, oh, here's Zach.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the guy that does hip hop, kung fu. I want that guy.
Zach was badass. I loved Zach. I think Zach and Kimberly were my two favorite growing up. Kimberly
well, he had the axe that was also a gun. Like,
I'm glad you said that, because I almost just said like 3 things I probably would end up having to edit just because I'm a dumbass. So, anyways, Zach, great, love him. Anyways, well, I was about to start talking about my childhood love for Amy Jo Johnson.
Oh, dude, let's talk about it.
Let's have a therapy session here. I love it.
Let's talk about it. I like it.
Ryan, did you pick up anything up this week? Any show and tell? Any new toys?
Yeah. So after we did, so we did our live on Friday. Saturday, I got up, started watching some of the DC fandom.
Okay, that was fun. Yeah.
But, my buddy's like, "Hey, I'm gonna come pick you up. Let's go to Toy Traders." And of course, that's like just bad news bears, right? Because you're like, you're watching all this, you're getting excited about everything you're watching.
Just so for our audience, Toy Traders is like your local awesome vintage toy shop.
It's not just vintage, it's new, it's vintage, it's 2 stories, it's giant, it's imagine a Walmart, but it's nothing but toys.
I love that. That's what I think about all the time.
It's better than, it's the best store, the best toy store I've ever been to, and I've traveled. And I think the only thing closest might be somewhere that I went in Japan.
Okay, very cool, very cool.
But that's why I can't wait for you guys to come up here and visit so I can take you there.
Yes.
So because I was excited and I haven't seen these in stores yet. So I got the animated Superman.
Okay, that's McFarlane.
No. This is DC Collectibles.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
So this is in scale with the Batman animated figures. So they're done in the same style by Bruce Timm.
Wait, is that newer or has that been out for a while?
So these are newer.
Oh, I need that.
I also picked up the Wonder Woman.
I need that.
What kind of bums me out about Wonder Woman, she does not come with the lasso. They don't have any extra hands. They don't have any accessories.
So they're pretty straightforward.
They're just pretty straightforward. And I picked up the Flash.
Those are all really good looking figures.
These are all great figures. There are 7 in the set. They only had 3 there. So I need Martian Manhunter, Aquaman, Green Lantern, and Hawkgirl.
And what is the set called? So they've got the Batman animated series set, and then they've got the new Adventures of Batman. What is this series called?
Justice League.
Just Justice League. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I had no idea those even existed. Now I'm stressed. Now I want to hit the pause button and go to the store. I want that Superman for sure.
Well, at the moment I saw it, I was like, oh, they actually are coming out in stores, because I think you had to be a subscriber to DC Universe, and then you can order them through that subscription site originally, and they weren't. That's the only way you could get them, and then I couldn't get them because you couldn't get DC Universe in Canada.
Okay.
So I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm a little hosed. And then they started coming out in stores. So then the moment I saw them at Toy Traders, first thing I did when I got home was I was like, I got to check the website to see if I can order them. But Big Bad Toy Store was sold out of everybody else.
Right.
So I couldn't get the Batman, can't get the Aquaman, and they only had the 3. And now I don't know if they're coming out in waves. DC Direct is clearly non-existent at this point, so there's no point in trying to contact anybody to ask what's going on. And
just
because of the
hey, hi, I'm Ryan from Toy Anxiety. I've got a question for you.
Oh, I'd love to get someone that used to work at DC Direct on the show and ask 1,000 questions.
A million questions.
You know, hundreds of questions.
Yeah.
So, you know, but they're great, and they're great to have beside my Batman animated stuff, because they're all in the same scale. They all look in the same universe. So, yeah, I'm super stoked to have them. I'm super stoked I found them.
My Nightwing figure falls over all the time. He's a little dainty. He's got those skinny legs.
Use the stand.
Yeah. And
put it around the waist.
Yeah.
Like hook him around the waist. And I actually have it so he's doing like a dynamic pose. So the one leg is out.
Oh, that's cool.
So that way he's not so top heavy.
Right. Those stands, did not like those plastic hook stands. But it's really the way that those figures are designed. Like you just said, they are very top heavy. So even if you try to put them on like a traditional like figure stand, like it kind of just doesn't work. But great stuff.
And you can't put pegs in the feet because all their feet are tiny.
Right. Very tiny. Very tiny. Well, cool. Well, that's cool. Did you pick anything else up, or was that it for this week?
That was kind of like the main event. I also grabbed something for you while I was there.
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
So but you can talk about that when that arrives.
Okay.
And then I also picked up the Batman Forever Robin cycle.
Oh, cool.
So I grabbed that.
Very cool.
But it's hanging up. So
you know what I need is I need the Batman Forever, the 2-pack that comes with Batman and Robin and their normal movie suits, which,
you know what, I need it too, and I can't find it anywhere. I can't find it on eBay. I can't find it on and I'm not paying. Have you ever seen collector Amazon prices?
Oh yeah,
they're ridiculous.
Yeah,
they're
awful.
So dumb. It's like,
I don't know what's going on.
You want this Batman Forever? It's going to be.
If I met a toy dealer,
Batman,
right,
$70.
If I met a toy dealer who said he primarily runs off of Amazon, I would like slowly back away because you can't trust those people.
No, absolutely not.
They don't package the stuff very well, anyways. Cool. I got a couple new things floating around that I can kind of show. So I got now these didn't come together, but I did pick up Slash, and Slash came with Leatherhead, and April came with a Foot Soldier. But I just have Slash and April with me at the moment.
Yeah, because you were taking photos.
I was taking some photos. Yeah, these are great. I mean, I've seen some people saying that they didn't think the April was very good, but I don't know. I think it's pretty great to me. I think.
You know what those guys want?
What?
They want that zipper pulled down a little further. That's why they're like, this April's not so good.
Right. They blame it on the head sculpt. They're like,
yeah.
Oh, dude, the head sculpt's way off from the prototype, but also, where's the cleavage, bruh?
Yeah. She never had it zipped up to her neck. Come on.
You know, she was hanging out in that sewer den, just basically. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that anyways.
Sweating. She was sweating.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. No, those are great figures. I mean, this Slash is amazing. Look at that. Like, I have the video game version of Slash, but this is great. They did a great job.
Man, I really want NECA to do the ones based off the comics.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll get there. I mean, what NECA has learned over the last couple months is that when you put up Turtles toys, people are buying them, lots of them. Turtles have a hardcore fan base of collectors, and I mean, they just put up Bebop and Rocksteady as a pre-order now. You can just get it off the NECA site now, which was never. Those were, I paid like $80 for mine last December.
Yeah, that's. I think that's great that NECA is doing that too, and I think they kind of realize as well, like if you release Turtles that haven't ever been released, they're gonna make a ton of cash.
Well,
people are gonna go crazy for it.
They've got such a, as far as the cartoon line goes, like there's literally hundreds and hundreds of avenues they can go down. There's so many one appearance characters, stuff based on the animated series, stuff that got action figures, like, or from the Playmates line. Like, there's really an unlimited number of possibilities. I think that the NECA cartoon line is going to go for another, 5 to 10 years easily, as long as they can, retain the license. And the movie line it's great. There's still characters from the first movie they haven't done. They, as far as Secret of the Ooze, we got Token Razar and Super Shredder, but they can do those Turtles. They can do, April. They can do the TMNT. Like, there's so much. So I'm excited.
So I have a question for you. I don't want to know if you've got a solution to this, because I remember Randy saying, and I can't remember if it was an interview with you or somebody else, and Randy was talking about how, you can only release the 4 Turtles so many times,
right?
But you always have to keep the 4 Turtles on shelf.
Yep.
How would you expand the movie Turtle line while still keeping 4 Turtles on a shelf? Because you do want to get those extra characters,
right?
Like, would you at any point just start doing like Leo in a bathtub? Like, would you?
I mean, I think that there's, as far as like Comic-Con exclusives, there's always ways to do fun stuff like that. But I kind of like the model they're doing with the cartoon Turtles, because basically most of the characters are being packed with, they're like 2 packs, right? So for instance, the April came with like a foot soldier. So, but it's a different foot soldier. But like, what you can do is like, that appeals to, if you want April, you're going to buy that. If you want to army build foot soldiers, you're going to buy that. Like, as far as keeping Turtles on the line, like, I would say creating alternate versions of existing Turtles, but don't do 2 packs. Like, just, this is not maybe the best for the consumer, but I think it would be the best for NECA. And plus, I'm going to buy them all anyway. Pack an alternate version of Leonardo with maybe a different facial expression or different accessories, and pack him with a character who's new that might not be like Tatsu or something, or Danny.
Right.
Maybe a character that on its own has a very specific, fan base or collector base. But if it's the first time you're collecting and you're walking through a store and you see Leonardo with Tatsu and you pick that up, well, you can't just have Leonardo and Tatsu. I hope I'm saying his name right. I think I am.
I think so.
So you might have like Secret of the Ooze Shredder packed with Raphael, and then you might have Secret of the Ooze Michelangelo packed with oh god, I can't think of his name. Whoever the professor was. So I think there's ways to do it, because it kind of goes back to the old thing. They talk about it on the Major Wrestling Figure podcast a lot. You still have to keep your main guys on the shelves. That's why when collectors go, God, why is there another Seth Rollins figure? What about insert, new guy here? Because if you're a kid buying wrestling toys for the first time and you go to the store and it's just, B and C characters, and you can't buy Seth Rollins, AJ Styles, Bray Wyatt, whatever, you might not even, it might suck for you. So you got to keep the main guys in the line. I think it's a little bit different, because I think, when you're appealing to adult collectors, it's just a little bit of a different mindset. But I would just stick with the 2 packs and just pack Turtles with other characters.
I just thought of something as an exclusive. This would probably fly as an exclusive figure, and wouldn't probably fly as like one that you would find in stores.
Uh-huh.
But I want a Donatello that works like a Weevil.
Okay.
and spits water.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
Right, where he just rocks back and forth.
Yeah,
you can't tip him over.
I mean, I want the Secret of the Used Turtles. I mean, the costumes aren't as good. They're a little bit sillier and a little bit brighter, but I still want them. Like, especially if you have Toka and Razar. I also want baby Toka and Razar. And you know what would be cool? Movie versions of Bebop and Rocksteady, because it never existed. Like, if something like that.
If they were able to get someone from the original design team to design characters we never got in the movies, in 90s style movie figures, I think that would be something quite awesome to see. Because you're right, I think a Bebop and Rocksteady in that scale and that style would be like amazing. Same with the Krang.
Yeah, I think there's a lot you can do. And listen, it's NECA. They're not one of those companies that tends to do, like, they tend to just do what you think they should. Like the Tour Turtles, the Coming Out of Their Shells tour, like, we always talked about it, but then they just did it. And obviously it worked because.
So I'm going to put it out there now.
Yeah.
Let's get Turtles 3 April.
Oh, yeah. My favorite scene of any Ninja Turtles movie, when she tears off her skirt, she's got her leg up, and like Donatello and Leonardo, they're like, shoving. Like, it's such it's creepy. B, it's a product of its time. Like, cool Wayne's World reference. Like, also 3 years after Wayne's World even came out, like, whoa, April, swing. With that, like, that raspy Corey Feldman Donatello voice that I love.
Right.
Oh, man, I love it. So yeah, I'm all about it. And then they announced that April from the first movie, Judith Hogue is getting a figure. They're making a whole series
documentary about it. Yeah. I think that's so cool.
Yeah, for sure. So let's see, a couple other pickups before we move along here. Here comes fanboy tears.
Oh.
So we've got Baroness. Whoop, there she is. I promise Ryan I'm going to pick him one, or pick one up for him. They are hitting stores. I predict that the G.I. Joe classified Target line is going to be populating TJ Maxx's and Ross's all over the country within the next year. That's just usually how it goes. And we're all going to be like, dude, remember people were paying $200 for Baroness? And now it's $9.99 with a free, mesh belt at Ross. Yeah. But I was able to pick that up. It was kind of a funny story. I should tell the story. So we have an app called Pop Finder, and it's basically the same as BrickSeek. It kind of taps into the individual databases of Target and Walmart and can show you stock numbers. So I've never used Pop Finder before the last couple of weeks, but it seems to be fairly accurate, sometimes even more accurate than BrickSeek. And I woke up, checked, and there was 2 in stock at a Target. This is early morning. This is like before work. Like, my work day starts at 9. So this is like 7:45. I see there's 2 Baroness is in stock at a Target that's about 40 miles from me. And I was like, not doing that. Fuck that. Yeah. And then of course I'm getting dressed like, well, might as well check it out. I don't know. So, I told myself I was going to drive halfway there and then check Pop Finder again. And if it was still 2, I would go all the way, man. I about halfway there, I had the page up. I just clicked reload. It said there was still 2. And I also have Roadblock. I don't have Beachhead or the Cobra Trooper yet, but that's another story for another day. So I get to Target, and I think all toy collectors who are hunting, especially these hard to get elusive figures, you can relate to this. Every person walking into Target in my mind is there for the same. I'm like, oh, I bet that it's like a 50-year-old woman with her kids. I'm like, she's after Baroness like me. I must stop her. But of course you can actually pick out the people who are actually there to buy, because we all look the same. There's usually a lot of cargo shorts.
There's definitely that vibe. I mean, how many of these guys have we seen side eye us and then race us to the toy aisle? You know what I mean?
Like, when people say, what's a really influential movie? You're like, Jingle All the Way. That's where I learned it all. So we did that. I did that. I walked into Target. Do you have Target in Canada? Isn't it based in Canada?
No. We had them for like a hot minute.
Yeah.
They bought all our Zellers, which was a Canadian box store where we would usually get our toys. Okay. Then they bought out Zellers, and then like in less than a year, they closed them all down.
Weird. Well, the way basically all Targets are designed is when you walk in, to the left, you've got your bathrooms. To the right, you've got your registers. Sometimes it's the other way around, depending on what entrance you're in. But the toy aisle is near the back of the store, near the media area, where CDs, DVDs, whatever people buy in the video games, that stuff, that shit. So you kind of have to, there's no good way to cut across the store. You just kind of have to do the perimeter. So
right.
I go all the way down, hang a right. As soon as I'm hitting down the aisle, I see a guy in the distance, and it's oversized black, metal band tee, hat, cargo shorts. I was like, oh, this is a G.I. Joe fan. I could tell. So I cut, and I checked Pop Finder. There was still 2, and I cut down the aisle, and he's standing near the edge of the aisle, just kind of looking around. So in my head, I'm like, oh, this guy is looking for Baroness, and he's already asked them, and they're already looking in the back. So, spoiler alert. Well, let me get there. So, I look in the G.I. Joe section. They've got the tag up for it, but it's not there. Do the normal, go up and down the aisles, just hoping I stumble upon it and can just go on without having to interact with anybody. So then I go up to him. I was like, hey, man, are you here for G.I. Joes? And he just goes, yeah. And I was like, cool. Baroness? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, cool. What's the deal? Like, tell me what's the information? He's like, well, he goes, this is so funny. I haven't even told you this part. I wanted to say, he's like, well, I've been here for 2 hours.
Oh my God.
So he's like, I got here, like I was here before they opened and they let me in. And the person who's unloading the toys from the toy truck doesn't get here till whatever the time was, 9 or 9:30 or whatever. He's like, so I'm waiting for them, but they said they've got 2 in stock. And I was like, okay, cool. Are you getting both of them? And he was like, well, you can have one, I guess. And I was like, cool. Thank you. Because if you would have said anything else, I would have been like, no, you're not just going to buy 2 and scalp one.
Yeah.
We're both getting one. No, he was actually all joking aside. He was a very nice guy. We ended up, but it was funny because like I'm more apt to make small talk with people than I think a lot of people are. So we're just standing there and like, listen, we're in the toy aisle. There's Ghostbusters figures, there's Transformers, there's Star Wars, all this shit. And I asked him, I was like, so what else do you collect? And he looked at me, he goes, what do you mean? And I was just like, besides the G.I. Joe Baroness you're about to buy. So I thought for a second maybe like he was just a flipper or a scalper, but it turns out he just collected G.I. Joe figures and like he just was, that's what he was focused on. So anyways, they came out and said, hey guys, we're unloading the truck now. And then about 5 minutes later, a guy walked out with 2 Baronesses and gave one to me, one to the other guy. The other guy, the guy I met, I wish I had his name. He's a super nice guy. He looked at it and he looked at me and he looked at it again. He goes, I can't believe I have this. And then he just walked away. So
that's a happy ending.
It was good. It was a good toy hunting story. Very stressful. But they are hitting, and the rumor is that over Labor Day weekend, which is coming up. Wait, Labor Day's not this Monday, is it? You wouldn't know.
No, it's next Monday.
Okay. I just got to figure out if I'm off work or not. Apparently they're doing a big restock. So Ryan, I am going to find you a Baroness. It will be in your hands. I promise you.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Cause in October, that's when the Storm, Thunderbird 2-pack comes out.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
That's the one I definitely need from you. That'll finish my my Konami X-Men set.
Cool. Well, listen, here's the thing. I toy hunt a lot every day, basically. So I will be picking you up whatever you need. So last thing I wanted to point out, by the way, I'm seriously considering, I haven't opened up any of my classified figures. I'm seriously, for the first time in my adult life, considering a mint in box collection because they display so well. It's some of the best looking packaging I've seen in a really long time. And I don't know, I'll probably open it all eventually, but it just looks good. So anyways,
it does look good. Nothing's really hidden. You get to,
right.
I'm down with that. Right. I'm actually, and just one last quick thing. I just want to say, like, I'm super stoked at the final numbers of the Sentinel.
Yeah. Let's talk about that.
Man, what was it? 22,000.
It was a lot.
They sold. They did one last thing where it was like, hey, if we reach, 16,000, we'll add in this Sentinel head.
Right.
That was a huge deal for me.
Okay.
This is the first Spider-Man comic that I ever bought with my own money going to like a convenience store.
Okay.
That is a Sentinel. So
what issue is that?
Or 351.
351 of
It's even signed by the artist Mark Bagley.
Very cool.
And so to see like them say, hey, if you reach this, well, I'll add in a Sentinel head, and then already having it on order, it was very like, it got me like super anxious.
Right.
Where it was like, oh my God, if they make, because I never thought in my wildest dreams we would get a toy of the Sentinel or anything resembling a Sentinel.
Right.
So, man, I was so nervous that last little bit where it was like, oh man, are we going to, like everyone, it seems like everyone already bought it. How many more people are actually going to need a Sentinel at this point?
Right.
Like they already did way bigger numbers than anything else. Is this even possible? And then they blew that one out of the water. So I'd like to thank all the fans that might have bought one, that are listening, that bought one last minute. You just made me like super happy.
That's amazing.
I'm getting a dream toy now at this.
That's awesome. And I want to congratulate, of all people, myself for not getting a Sentinel. This was me. Listen, by the way, if it was on the bubble, if it was like, hey, we need to make this happen, as a toy enthusiast and as a toy fan, I would have been right there, because I want, I'm not the biggest Marvel collector, obviously, but I want these projects to be successful because it's good for collectors and good for the toy industry. Having said that, it was funded in like 15 minutes originally, and I was like, oh, fuck it. I showed what I like to call toy restraint, and it's not something I have a lot of, especially these days. So I was able to take deep breaths and say, listen, forget the fact that in a year when everybody's getting their Sentinels in the mail, you're going to feel extremely left out, and you're going to convince yourself that you can really start a Marvel Legends collection today and I'll need it. Like, forget all that. You don't have a Marvel Legends collection. You've got like 4 figures. 3 of them are Black Widow because of Amy Jo Johnson.
I mean,
and
do you take the Amy Jo Johnson head off of your Power Ranger? Do you put it on the Black Widow
I bring it out. They just talk. They just go hang out. They go. So, but I showed toy restraint, which I was happy with because it is expensive, and I really don't think, even if you're not very conservative with your money, you shouldn't spend $400 on something you really don't want or need. So, but I'm super ecstatic for everybody who got it, because it is a dream toy and it's a centerpiece collectible for your Marvel Legends collection, and I just think it's so cool. So, congratulations.
Yeah, and you know how like anxious I get about spending a lot of money on one thing.
Right.
Where I get super, like, I don't know what it is. It's just something that I guess I was raised with, where it's just like, oh, that's a big purchase.
It's common sense, logic.
Super nervous. So, when the bill came through and the currency exchange happened and you're looking at the numbers and you're just like,
oof.
Oh.
But dude, you know what? It's going to be great because as Yes Have Some's own Jacob Walsh likes to say, money's fake, and
money is fake.
you'll have more money at some point, and in a year you'll get it, and it'll feel like it's free. So there you go.
That's, you know what? It's true, because after I did some budgeting too, I was doing calculations and being like, you know what? It's not going to be that bad.
Yeah, it's not like you're coming down to Halloween Horror Nights this year.
Yeah, that's, you know what? I think how Horror Nights clearly costed more. Right. But I mean, like, yeah, this was my Halloween Horror Nights.
By the way, thank you, Ryan Dole. A lot of our fans might not know this. You bought me a poncho at Halloween Horror Nights because while we were there, it was pouring rain. And what a weird, fun, amazing time to be alive before we had to stay indoors and hide from our neighbors.
That was my last big trip. That was my last big trip before everything went to hell. And it was, I would do it again.
Yeah, it was fun. Lots of good times. Last thing I'm going to show off. By the way, I think we're moving along pretty good here. So, anybody who listens to Yes Have Some or subscribes to the channel knows that this week we were able to showcase the brand new Spangler's Neutrino Wand from Hasbro. I'll flip her on here. Whoops. There we go.
Dude, can I just say that video you guys made is amazing?
Oh, thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. I worked. Well, hold on. Last thing. Yeah. There we go.
There we go.
So this is the new Plasma Series Neutrona Wand. This is available on Hasbro Pulse and anywhere you can get toys, basically GameStop, all that. Hasbro and Ghost Corps reached out to us about doing some content to feature it. And we were super excited about it because Ghostbusters is obviously our number one love and passion. And we've been nothing but ecstatic about Hasbro. I mean, we've talked about it before, but Ryan, you and I, for like 4 years, were like, and I'll just do my Canadian voice, even though I don't have it, but I would be like, oh, dude, wouldn't it be amazing, eh? If like Hasbro was like, hey, we're going to do a line of like Black Series style figures, eh? But it's going to be those Ghostbusters. I would have been like, no, there's no way they'll ever do that, man. So.
And then meanwhile, on the other line, I'm hearing, hey, listen, here's the thing. If Hasbro got...
Listen, here, just me doing my own impression. Listen. If Hasbro gets Star Wars, or if Hasbro gets Ghostbusters, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. No, it was great. So we were super excited and very grateful to work with them to put that together and get an advance release of the Neutrona Wand because we love Ghostbusters. We're supporters of the franchise. We want nothing but
you guys worked hard for it as far as I'm concerned, and it was great to see. It looked like a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun and filming that stuff and having Eric Reich on from Ghost Corps and interviewing him. And, he's hands-on the production side of things. He's producing the new Ghostbusters movie. And, we talk about it in the interview. We basically, anything with the product of Ghostbusters, anything related to licensing, anytime you see the logo, whether it's toys or anything, like Eric is fully involved in making that happen. So from the ground floor, he was the one working with Hasbro and they were talking about, these props and I just heard something fall.
Oh,
I thought it was a toy, but I'm in the toy room. So usually it's like, oh my God, a toy fell, but I'm in here. So it's probably a cat or something. Anyways, long story short, super excited. And I have a feeling, I don't know any inside information at all, so don't read too much into this, but to me, a PKE meter and a trap would make a lot of sense going forward.
Yeah, I'm up for anything at this point. I just want the Ghostbusters line to do so bloody well that we get, start getting more than one wave a year.
Right. It's funny. We've been doing this toy anxiety for, 5-6 episodes now. We haven't talked about Ghostbusters very much, and it's definitely our number one love. So maybe
it's how we met. It's how, that's how we got connected was through Ghostbusters.
Well, it's how Yes Have Some started. It's basically the origin to everything that we do. We'll probably have to dedicate a full episode to talking about Plasma Series and all that stuff.
Yeah, let's do that for Halloween. Let's do a full-on Halloween Ghostbusters episode, and we'll decorate our backgrounds with Halloween stuff.
Cobwebs, spiderwebs.
And I just want to say one more thing about your Plasma Series video. And I know I told you this in our chat and stuff like that. And I thought you and Ghostbusters News, like Jason there, I thought you guys both did a great video.
Thank you.
Like you guys both did really good. And I kind of always felt like, Jason's felt like a newsreel, and yours felt like something that I would see between episodes on Saturday morning.
Okay.
Like a one to grow on kind of thing. I might be aging myself by saying one to grow on. So
okay.
If any of you
I have no idea what that is.
So they would do like oh, here's your episode of the real Ghostbusters.
Okay.
And then before it starts, they might show like a little like PSA or a little like skit of kids doing things.
Okay.
That's what yours kind of felt like. It felt like I was watching Saturday morning cartoon, like Saturday morning again, and it was like felt fun and.
Well, listen, I
felt
appreciate
like I was watching TV.
Well, thank you. I very much appreciate that. We put a lot of work into it. If you haven't seen the video, it's on our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram. We put it everywhere. It was cool working with them, and hopefully, the only officially announced now there are a bunch of Ghostbusters toys coming out in January-ish to ramp up to the new movie. But the only thing that's officially announced for Plasma Series going forward is that 2-pack with Louis Tully and the Terror Dog. I kept, my head kept going Rick Moranis. I was like, yep. That's the actor. But yeah, the Tully's Terrible Night box set is coming out in September at some point, and I'm assuming we'll get more announcements sooner rather than later. The year's going on, so
yeah, I can't wait for September. That set. I really hope everyone gets it that wants it.
Yeah, it's gonna be good. Well, cool. Well, we've covered a lot of ground. Ryan, anything else? I feel like we've I don't know. We're probably at 40 minutes already. Do you want to? What do you got?
Well, let's go through some comments.
Oh, it's time for that, eh?
Let's do it. Hang on. Let me get my.
So for those of you who don't know, what we like to do at the tail end of our shows every week is we comb through various message boards and Facebook groups and toy collector groups looking for our most our funniest and least constructive criticisms of toy collecting and the toy industry. And listen, we do this because it's fun and funny. And I think as a toy collector, as somebody who got up at 7 a.m. to drive 40 miles to a Target to get a G.I. Joe figure, you got to have a little bit of self-awareness, right? And there's nothing better than a little bit of self-deprecation and kind of calling. Now, we don't call anybody out by name, but we like to go through these comments and have a little fun with them.
Yeah, it's because let's face it, sometimes these guys are saying on open social media is kind of sometimes things we say to our own heads.
Right. And now for this one, since it's not a private group, we can reveal where we sourced these comments at least.
Yeah. So this one's from Yakface.
Okay.
On their Instagram. I went on there today.
Right.
And they're talking about, they're keeping track of current, rumored, unannounced action figure. And, if anyone goes into Yakface, they'll show like, oh, here's a code name for it. And everyone gets excited.
Right.
And everyone tries to guess what it is.
Right.
First comment, don't celebrate until we know how many are repacks.
oh man. These guys, these vintage collection guys just have nightmares about repacks. Like they're nightmare. Like, well, I'm in the factory and they've announced all the new vintage collection, and it's just that same damn, Darth Vader being repacked over and over and over. It's funny.
So good. Right, here it is. Okay. So there's one that shows up at Walmart as called the Holiday Trooper.
Okay.
Right. And everyone's just like, this has to be the Mountain Dew Trooper, the Mountain Trooper.
Right.
Some people are calling it like the Mountain Dew because it's called a berry.
Okay.
It's coming up as Berry Trooper as well. Oh, man. No, thank you. Keep holiday figures exclusive to Pops.
Just totally missing. Like, none of the listen, here's the thing. Hasbro use code words for everything. And usually you can kind of decipher them a little bit, but like that just means it's coming out around the holidays. Like there's no way they're doing
saying, that's probably coming out in November.
Like when the Plasma Series stuff leaked and the code names, like Zedmore's code name was Zucchini. It's not like that's the equivalent of being like, no way. I don't want no VeggieTales Ghostbusters. Keep that shit in the grocery store.
There's a produce section. Is that where I have to look for it?
Just all nuance just going over. By the way, I would like a holiday trooper. Give me like a little candy striper, this stormtrooper with a little Santa hat. I'll take that.
Do you know what I kind of want? I want to see a Black Series holiday special Boba Fett.
That would be so stupid. I love that.
It would be great.
Or a Boba. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what you were just. For some reason, at first I was thinking Jabba the Hutt. But yeah, the Boba Fett. Yeah. I literally almost just came back and said you know what just was going through my head? No, instead of that, how about the holiday special Boba Fett? The animated one? Like, yeah, I just said that.
Yeah, thanks, bud. Yeah. Or if they did Chewbacca in like a red robe.
Well, you know, Abby from Yes Have Some, people probably know who that is. She's always wanted the Ewok adventure figures with Sindel and her brother, and I mean, that would be cool.
I would love for them to do that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it takes. I've been trying to, I'm just going to be transparent here on this. I've been trying to like get a hold of the guys that do the Hasbro Legends, you know, their branding team. I've been trying to get them so we could get them on the show.
Right.
None of them have replied to me at all.
That's great.
At all. So, you know, I would love to get those guys, and same with the brand managers from Black Series. I would love to have them on.
Absolutely.
Just to kind of see, like, have they even discussed this? Like, I don't want any spoilers of like, do you think we'll get this? It's more of a, has this even been thought about? Is this even on your guys' radar? Because I'm
right.
You know, that's always kind of
curious to me. I always think that they probably, sorry, I was trying to find a few comments myself. I'm sure that any and everything's on the table. It's not like that this stuff has to be brought up. It's just, you know, can they do it reasonably well, and will it sell? You know, like that's always part of it too. Dude,
I honestly think if they started doing Ewok adventures and did like a Wicket and just did the 2 kids and a Wicket as a 3-pack,
that'd be amazing.
I think it would go over huge. Or even if they started doing Black Series versions of Dulax from the Ewoks cartoons.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, those Ewok cartoons are so weird. I love those.
Yeah, they are weird, but they're fun. They're cute. And hang on, I got one more comment before you read yours on the same thing.
Go for it.
I've never seen anything at Target other than peg warmers.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what that means. And this is a topic about a Star Wars holiday trooper.
I think that people, it depends on what your toy hunting like strategy is. Like if you live in a small town and you just have one target and you go to that target every day, it's going to suck because it's a small town target. They're not getting inventory in, they're not restocking, and you're competing with the other, 4 collectors in your town. And
right.
So I feel bad if you don't have, like, we've got a lot of Targets, a lot of Walmarts. I can do the loop and see different stuff all the time. But I do like that all I ever see is peg warmers. Like, well, okay.
Yeah, because the good stuff's gone.
So I'm going to read this. I don't know if this is, hold on. This is like a long thing. I don't even know if it's good or bad. I just want to read it. So this is out of the
okay.
We'll close on this and we'll discuss it and then we'll be done. This is from the G.I. Joe group I'm in. Okay, I'm going to say this. And if you all get offended, I apologize in advance. I love when people do that.
Yeah. Oh, this is already good.
I'm so offensive that I know some of you will be offended. All right. He says, I'm just saying this to put things in perspective. If you don't agree, you don't have to comment. But is it me or some folks on here way out of control with this stuff? The calling and pestering Target employees, standing in line every morning in front of Target. He's talking about me at this point. Now I'm triggered, paying way over scalping prices for a $20. This kind of stuff is why I got out of Star Wars in the 2000s.
Oh, wow. It's a good time. Yeah.
No, I mean, I kind of agree with that. It is out of control, but it's fun to talk about. So anyways, what are we going to do? It's funny, as people have begun to find the hard to find figures, the rhetoric and commentary has kind of dropped a little bit. So yeah, I don't know.
Well, you got to remember, we heard stories about guys saying that they represent Hasbro and they need to see their Ghostbusters retros. I mean, people went a little freaking psycho.
There's something. Yeah, keep going.
And I still think this is due to the fact we've had no cons, no toy shows, and I think people are just getting itchy.
I think
just getting itchy. They got nowhere to go.
Well, listen, when the real Ghostbusters retro figures came out, first they hit about 2 months before anybody was expecting them to. And, if you had those pre-ordered and you're sitting at home and you're quarantined and all of a sudden, you're seeing people all over the country heading out to Walmart and picking up these figures. Like, I get the frustration, but at the end of the day, these are mass-produced pieces of plastic, and we all just need to calm down just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So, well, cool. Well, this was fun. Ryan, did you have anything else before we sign off?
No, I think that's it. You know, excited for next week. I'm curious to what this week will hold.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Hasbro has any big, announcements planned or anything for this week. I would say anybody.
But September will be big. September, I think, will be big just because that's just everyone keep an eye out.
Yeah, for sure.
For when Hasbro makes an announcement for when the San Diego Comic-Con exclusives go on sale.
Yeah, that'll be in the next couple weeks. And like we've been saying, this year's chugging along. So, stores are going to be getting stocked up for holiday resets. Holiday Troopers even.
Ooh. I just want that now just because of what it's called.
I just like that. Like, let Funko do that with their pops. Keep those holiday things. Like, you just calm down. Everybody's calm down.
Don't buy it, you jackass.
Yeah, there's that. Well, cool. We'll sign off here. Keep collecting. Keep the stories coming. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you're collecting, what you're having trouble. And I kind of want to do a new thing where if you've got questions for us, leave them in the comments. And then next week, we'll address your questions and concerns. I want to be able to be as interactive as possible with our watchers and listeners.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for the comments you guys have been leaving and talking about Legends and what you see in the background and all the other stuff too. It's been
great. Fun. This has been a fun little side project. I look forward to it every week, and I think we'll go at least one more week.
Yeah. Definitely. I can see that happening.
All right. For Ryan Dole, I am Craig Goldberg. Thank you for checking out Yes Have Some. Don't know why I did in that weird voice, but we're going to not edit it out, and we'll see everybody next week. Bye.
All right. Take care, everyone.